Hola amigos, ¿cómo está? Me llamo es Steaphen Fick. Unfortunately, that's all the Spanish I have. My name is Steaphen Fick with Davenriche European Martial Arts School in Santa Clara, California. Today, I want to thank you for letting me join you and be a part of this event again. I'm sorry I don't get to be there in person, but I'm looking forward to when we get to start moving and traveling again so I can come down and see you. What I want to work on today is swinging a one-handed sword in such a way that your defense is built into your offense. Think of a cut like a coin. Your coin has heads and tails. Your cut is the same way. You have offense and defense. You can have a specialized coin, let's say a double-headed coin. That way you know every time you flip it, you're going to get heads. If we think of the heads as our attack, I can rely on offense all the time. But what happens if my opponent attacks before I'm ready? Then I don't have my defense built into it. I don't have the tails of my coin. Just because you hit your opponent doesn't mean they're not going to hit you back. One of my favorite sayings here at DMAS is, dying is a long ways from dead. Therefore, just because I hit you doesn't mean you're going to lay down quietly and go into that sweet night. With that in mind, let's talk about how we're going to swing the sword. As we move through the different weapons here at DMAS, one of the things that I point out is you move through your guards and your opponent gets in the way. I am the most important person in the world. And because I know I am the most important person in the world, if I'm trying to hit my opponent, I am now thinking about them, and I made them the most important person in my world. So instead of doing that, I'm going to move through my guards. And as we practice these transitions, I want you to stop the video every now and then and work through it and do it. That way you can develop this defensive portion of your offense. We're going to start with the sword up on the shoulder in woman's guard. Just so that we get this out of the way, this is an Italianate system. It is not based off of any one manuscript, but based off of the masters from Italy, a touch of English, and my experience of 30 years of fighting with the sword. So you're going to see bits and pieces of everything, but when a martial system is true, you're going to find that truth in every system. So as we start here, we're going to start in woman's guard. From here, I don't want to pull my hand down to strike, because if I do that, I expose my forearm to a countercut. Therefore, I'm going to pull my elbow back. That puts my cage next to my ribs. My arm is parallel to the ground. So I'm going to pull it back this way. That puts my point slightly, ever so slightly, in front of my hand. Then I'm going to push out to inside guard. So I pull my elbow back, I push out to inside guard. Now I don't go all the way to inside guard. Instead, I'm kind of passing by inside guard. So from the front, it's elbow back, inside guard. Now what I want you to notice about this is that I am not leading with my edge, because as soon as I lead with my edge, I break my wrist. When I'm in this position, my wrist is straight, and it looks like I'm leading with my flat. If I attack using my eyes and I lead with my edge, I break my wrist, and it also takes my defense out from in front of my face, so I no longer have the protection. Whereas if I keep my wrist straight, now my sword is in front of me. Then as I get towards inside guard, again, I'm not stopping here, but I have the opportunity. I go to long guard. And by going to long guard, now because of my straight wrist, my physiology and my structure is behind my sword, leading with my edge. So again, I'm in woman's guard. I pull my elbow back, move towards inside guard. My blade is in front of my right eye. My forte is in front of my sternum. Think of this like a bulletproof vest. Long guard, low inside guard. Again, facing this direction. Woman's guard. Pull the elbow back so that my edge is in front of me. Pass towards inside guard, so the blade is in front of my eye. Long guard, low inside guard. If I am doing a reverso squalembrato, I'll start in woman's guard. I'll pull my elbow back. That again puts my blade in front of me. My forte is in front of my sternum, and then I'm going to pass towards outside guard into long guard to low outside guard. Woman's guard on the left. Pull my elbow back so my forte is in front of my sternum. Extend out towards outside guard, long guard, low outside guard. If I'm facing this direction, woman's guard, pull my elbow back, pass towards outside guard, long guard, low outside guard. Woman's guard, pull my elbow back. You can see how that puts my forte in the way of my center. There's where I'm passing towards outside guard. My head and my chest is covered by my blade. Does not look like I'm going to lead with my edge, but as soon as I hit long guard, I have the neck to the hip. And there's the trajectory for my reverso squalembrato. Now that I've thrown my cut in this way, because I pass by inside guard or outside guard on the action of my cut, that means that I can also choose to stop if I need to. So if I'm throwing a reverso squalembrato and I do it with my footwork, I can just complete my step and put myself completely behind my sword, so I can then move into another guard. If I'm doing a squalembrato and I'm stepping around for a fendent or for a squalembrato, there I can begin my cut and then just stop in inside guard, so then I can move beyond that. From the angle, if I am throwing a squalembrato, I can stop in inside guard. From this angle, if I'm throwing a reverso squalembrato, I pull my elbow back, and then I can stop in outside guard to do something else if I need to. In this way, my sword is always in front of me. We are creatures of symmetry. Up, down, right, left, in, out. Offense, defense. I can ignore one and go completely with the other, but that leaves me in danger. And the question you have to ask yourself, do you want to rely only on speed? Because if you do that, what happens if you're tired? Another question I like to ask my students here at DMAS a lot is, what happens if he's not your first fight? Worse yet, what happens if he's not your last? If you rely on speed, you're eventually going to get tired and slow down. If you rely on strength, you're eventually going to get tired and lose the ability to use your muscles as much. So instead of relying on speed or strength, rely on structure and physiology. And if you do that, your defense is therefore built into your cuts. Practice this. Stop the video, practice it, go back, rewatch it. In the 16th century manuscript, The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, what he says a lot at the end of his chapters is something like, you must ponder this long, or you must think about this a lot. This is not something that you're going to pick up right away, because we naturally want to lead and aim with our eyes. Our eyes will lie to us. We need to lead with our body, with our structure. And understand, that is not that I'm saying move your body before your sword. I'm saying use your body to aim your sword. That is done through footwork. If you move through your guards, your defense is always there. You choose your target with your footwork. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you find this helpful, and that in all of your weapons, understand this is not just for a single-handed sword. This also is true for a two-handed sword, for hand-to-hand, for knife work. In all instances, I need my defense in front of me. If I'm using my dagger, I want to make sure my defense is in front of me before I move in. It's just safe rules of combat. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Adios, mi amigos. Thank you for letting me be here, and I can't wait till we can get together and train in person again.